majority of hedge funds do not need a license, and you can go invest into assets that are different than your normal traditional financial advisor. A really cool example of a hedge fund that I've consulted with in the past is I bet you've heard of a hedge fund, but you have no idea what type of assets and products hedge funds can actually invest in. In this video, I'll give you some really cool insights on really rare opportunities that hedge funds can actually invest into that you are not in right now. A hedge fund is a collection of monies put together by an individual that is different than what you can normally buy by yourself. Hedge funds are designed for an accredited investor. They are specifically for people who have more money and more net worth, and they can take larger risks. What's really fascinating about hedge funds is the majority of hedge funds do not need a license to exist or to take people's money as an investment. It is bonkers and it is wild, because if you are an average American making $50,000 or more a year and you're investing into a traditional retirement account and you have a money manager, that money manager who's going to do somewhere between 5 and 10% a year for you, maybe, is required to have a bunch of different licenses, pass tons and tons of tests. I have built and exited 2 hedge funds in my life, and I have 0 license. I have no background in deep financial accounting, but what I do have is the knowledge of how markets move. And once you understand certain markets, certain investing styles and risk profile styles, you can reach out to individuals and you can go invest into assets that are different than your normal traditional financial advisor. A really cool example of a hedge fund that I've consulted with in the past is an art hedge fund. This art hedge fund is a fund that hedges against different inflation, different risks, and different investment styles by buying rare, hard to find art. That's what they do. They take people's money, they go look for art that's going to appreciate over time. They buy that art, they hold on to it, they discuss with their investors, here's what we just bought, here's why we bought it, here's where we bought it from, here's the story of the artist. And over time, they build up a collection of these art projects, and then eventually they start selling them off. They buy an art project for $2 million, sell it for $2.7 million 3 years later, and portions of that return obviously go to the pool of investors known as the fund. The word hedge specifically really is an actual physical hedge. I don't know exactly where the term comes from or why it's used, but I do know that when the New York Stock Exchange was being formed, it was being formed when New York City was pretty much a farm. It was farmland. That's why all of the investing terms are animal terms. Bull market, bear market, this is a dog, right? The stock, this is a bad investment. This is a dog, this is a dog with fleas, right? Hedge fund, the word hedge is a physical, actual plant. In the late 1800s, New York City was a farmland. So all these terms that we use in the stock market, a lot of them are animal terms because, well, the first investors were around a bunch of animals. So the hedge, real in principle, is the fact that other investors are coming together, pooling their money, collecting their money, and individuals like myself that have knowledge, expertise, and some level of insight regarding particularly unique assets into investing offer people potentially massive returns that are totally unique from a regular investing style fund. That is what a hedge fund is. If more questions about it, feel free to reach out. Let me know. If you've ever been in a hedge fund, tell me all about it. I'd love to hear your experience. Thanks so much for watching this video. You rock.